Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be continuing my BEA book haul. There's a couple of books that I forgot to show in the first part that I didn't get at BEA, but for the most part all of these will be from that event. So one of the two books that I forgot to mention in my first part that I got before BEA is going to be The Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. I got this from Target, and that has meaning, not just, you know, telling you where I got it, because each bookseller has something different in the back of the book. Mine ended up having a map in the back, so it's just a map that has like a bunch of the stuff from Camp Half-Blood in it, and I love it. I've actually already read this book, and so I have already filmed a review. I don't know if it'll be up yet, but if it's not, look out for that. The other book that I got outside of BEA is going to be Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Dark Artifices series. This takes place after the Mortal Instruments series, which I did complete. I have all the books up here. I have not read the Bane Chronicles, and I didn't read the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy or something like that, and I didn't know if I was going to continue on to this one, but Maureen was wanting to go to an event, but she already owned a copy, and so she ended up giving me the copy that she had before, I believe. So I have it, and I will be reading it at some point, but it is actually enormous. I did not think it was going to be this big, but yeah, looking forward to seeing where the characters that were introduced in the last book of the Mortal Instruments are going to end up in this book. As I said before, all the rest of the books are going to be from BEA. So the first book, the one that I was the most excited about, actually, is going to be Death Weavers, the fourth book in the Five Kingdoms series by Brandon Mull. I love Brandon Mull. I've read the first three books already, and so when I saw that Brandon Mull was going to be there, I was super excited, and I got it signed to me. It says, "Hi Connor, Brandon Mull," smiley face. He always does the same exact thing. All my books say, "Hi Connor," or "Hi blank," signature, smiley face. But I really like his middle grade series. The Beyonders trilogy by him is my favorite out of all of them that I've read, but I'm still really enjoying this one, and I suggest reading the Beyonders trilogy before picking up the Five Kingdoms series, because there is a species of character that show up in this that come from that other world. So yeah, I would say read that one first and then come and read this one, so you kind of have a history about that kind of creature and you kind of know where that creature is coming from, just so you kind of have that connection between the two series. But yeah, I was so excited to get this, and I actually just read the first chapter, and I'm pretty gosh darn excited. I kind of forgot a little bit of the stuff that happened in the third book because I have taken a big break between that one and this one, but I have just re-jogged my memory, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book I got is going to be Vasa in the Night, which is a retelling of Vasilisa the Beautiful, I believe. And it's basically about a girl living with her family in the Kingdom of Brooklyn or something like that. And there is a character named Babs Yaga who is terrorizing everyone, and then her family sends her to get light bulbs or something like that, and then she goes on an adventure to try to break Brooklyn free of the bad things that are happening within it. A lot of my friends were excited about it, so I'm hoping to like it just as much as they are thinking that they're going to. And moving on. The next book I got is The Inquisitions Tale by Adam Gidwitz. I have not read any of his other stuff, but people kept telling me how great Adam Gidwitz's middle grade is, and so I was like, yep, right up my alley, gonna be mine. Vasa in the Night comes out in September, and so does this book. I forgot to tell you when they come out. He ended up signing it to me, which it's there. It says, "To Connor, hot dog," his name. And I think there's people sitting around in a pub or something like that, I can't remember what it says, at an inn, and they start telling stories about these three children, and they each have a different power, and then they are all tested throughout their journey, and I'm pretty excited for it. It says it's super funny, and it says that it's illustrated, but I was flipping through it, and I don't think that the arc is illustrated, but maybe the final edition will be illustrated. So yeah, pretty gosh darn excited for this one, but again, I'm not going to be reading it for a little while because I'm going to read the arcs that I got that are coming out sooner first, and then these will be read later. I then picked up Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. This is a retelling of the legend of the Snow Queen, and it's about a girl who's in a mental institute, I think, and then she is trying to escape and get into this other kingdom, and then she's going to save the kingdom from the evil king or something like that. Not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure that this is a villain telling. She becomes a villain, I think, but I have not read too many fairy tale retellings, so Vasa in the Night and this one will be some of my first that I've ever read in my whole life. So yeah, I will be reading this one soon. A lot of people were also really excited about this one. My plan for BEA was just kind of to bob around with everyone else and kind of do what they did because I literally did not make a plan at all, and it did turn out well for me because I think I will like this. So a lot of my things will be like, someone else was gonna do this, and I went too. That's basically what I did the whole time at BEA. And this one also comes out in September, on September 27th, 2016. Then I picked up Metaltown by Kristen Simmons. I think that this was kind of a 2-for-1-er. I think it was this book and Vasa in the Night. I'm not exactly sure. But this one is about this girl, Ty, who's working in a factory, like a factory line. And then there's another girl who is the daughter of the owner of the factory. And then Colin, who is gonna be somehow integrating both of those two girls' lives. So I think it'll be really interesting. I think it's gonna be one of those escape the factory and then take down the factory stories, but hopefully they'll put some new twists on it. It's signed as well, and it says, "For Connor, hope you enjoy, press back, Kristen Simmons." So yeah, it's definitely gonna be them escaping and trying to take down something about their society. I also picked up Furthermore by Tahira Mafi. I looked up how to say her name. I still can't say it. I apologize. I looked up like 3 or 4 times. I'm bad at names. Whitney had already gone through the line and was like freaking out, and they didn't take her ticket, so I took her ticket and jumped in line and ended up getting it too. And it's middle grade, so you know, right up my alley again. And this is about a girl named Alice, and she is 12, and then she is on a mission to find her father, and she has to go through Furthermore, which is a world that is just super wonky and weird, and things don't make sense there. And she teams up with a boy who has superpowers with lying and deceit, and so she's traveling with a liar, and it's gonna be just a lot of middle grade fun. And I think that the two are probably gonna end up together. Not exactly sure, but it seems like it says, "Hold fast to the magic of love in the faces of loss," but she could be having love for her father, so I'm not really sure. I was walking by and people were handing out this book because not that many people were taking it, and I asked them what it was about, and they kind of gave me a short little sales pitch, and I said that I would be down and I would read it. And this one comes out in January of 2017, so this will not be read for a long time, but that is Little Deaths. This is based off of true events, and it is about a woman who is recently divorced, I believe, and her children go missing, and then one child is found, like the body of the child, and she's dead, and then her second child is found as well in a separate location, I believe, and the police automatically assume that the mother has murdered her children, but a reporter doesn't believe that she did. And so it's about, I think, the reporter and the mom trying to prove that the mom is innocent and something else has happened to her children. And it just seems like it's going to be extremely heartbreaking, but also kind of mystery thriller-esque. So I think I am actually going to really enjoy this because I do enjoy those mystery type novels. I just completed False Hearts, which is a mystery, and I loved it. So I think I'm gonna love this too. I don't think I actually picked this book up, but someone shoved it into my bag because they didn't want it, and that is Lock and Key, The Initiation by Ridley Pearson. This is about Sherlock Holmes's nemesis, told in the perspective of the nemesis's little brother. James Moriarty, I don't know much about Sherlock, so I don't know if that's like a popular name that I should know how to say, or I should know something about them, but they go to a school and then there's a mystery and James and Sherlock team up to solve it, but then you kind of start to see the seeds of James becoming evil. And so I think that that's really interesting, and I also like that it's told in the perspective of the little brother. It'll be interesting to see how the little brother is seeing the events unfold and seeing how his brother is changing throughout the course of the novel. So I think I'll really like this. This is also middle grade, and this one comes out in September. I picked up Overlord The Ted King #1 by, oh my gosh, I do not know how to say that name. It is that. I don't know how to say that name. If someone knows how to phonetically spell that, please tell me in the comments. This is about a video game system or game that is shutting down. I think it's like an online game or a virtual reality game. And this one guy signs on because he wants to be on the game as it goes black, as it stops happening. He will have played it until the very end, but then once the game shuts down, he gets sucked into the game, and so his fantasy world that he has been playing for all these years actually becomes his real life, and so he has to go on an adventure and try to figure out what the heck is happening and defeat the evil guys and stuff like that. I think it's going to be super high fantasy, super tropey, hopefully. I don't know. I think this cover is very busy, but I think I'll probably like it. This one already came out, so that's so weird. What the heck? Should have just given me a finished copy. This part is just going to be longer than the other part, so sorry about it. I got Shadow House by Dan Pawlowski, and this is called The Gathering. I think this is the first book in a series called Shadow House, so I think the first book is called The Gathering. It is so creepy looking. It's got like this girl and then, oh my god, it's so creepy. I think this is by Scholastic, I believe, and it is a thriller, scary book, a horror book. 5 kids go into a house for innocent reasons, but then the house ends up being anything but, and the house is actually described as hungry, and so kids start disappearing or dying, and the way out has been lost or blocked or disappeared, and so it's just a scary adventure in this house. I don't really know how it's gonna be, but it just seems so creepy, and I'm a little bit terrified, but I kind of want to read it. This one comes out in August. I guess I should be saying this, the publishers of each book, but I haven't been doing that, so I'm not gonna do it. I picked up Two Like the Lightning by Ada Palmer, sorry about it. I picked this one up because Victoria told me to. She's like, go, just go pick it up right now. So I ran over and jumped in line and got this one. This is a finished copy, and this one is about like a society that is a utopian society, which, as we all know, is not real. There is no utopian societies. There's always something bad happening, or it's too controlling, which this one seems to be. It also has science fiction elements, like flying spaceships and stuff like that. 2 people come across a boy that is able to make anything that he can imagine come true, and he can turn inanimate objects to life. And so I think that's really interesting, and I will be getting to it at some point soon. Maybe I'll buddy read it with Victoria because she is the sole reason that I got this, but it also is signed to me. It says, "For Connor, Ada Palmer, welcome, gentle reader." I'm gonna speed through the rest of them because I am so sorry that this is so long. So I picked up Image Comics Volume 1 and 2. These are the compendiums of the first editions of their most popular series, so I will be checking out different comic books, the like first issues of a bunch of different comic books in these, so I can kind of get a feel for which ones I want to pick up and which ones I don't. So yep, got those. I also picked up this single issue of I Hate Fairland because I thought the idea was so funny. It's about a girl who falls into fairyland when she's 6, and then she can't find the key to escape, and so no one ages in fairyland, but her mental age still ages. So 20 years later she's like 26 or something like that, and she has become very angry that she has not been able to get out of fairyland, and so she decides to cut her way out of fairyland. So it's super gory, I believe. She's just like a crazy 6-year-old, and I am so excited for this. I also have Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, but it's a chapter sampler and it's chapter 7, so nope. Desi and Riley both were sent like 100 copies of Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell, so I picked up this one. Don't know what it's about, but it's definitely adult. It says for older readers, so kidlets, stay away. I picked up the chapter sampler for Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Briggs. These are tales from the peculiar world that don't have anything to do with the actual stories, but it's what they are talking about in the book. So if you want some little background information, this will be coming out eventually. I picked up The Bone Sparrow by Zena Fralin. That's my best guess. I actually am not sure what this one is about, but I know that the people I was with really wanted this book adamantly. I think it is possibly magical realism. Nah, I don't really know, but I will be reading it. This one comes out in November, so this will not be read for a while, but it's there, and I got it. Warp by Lev Grossman. This is a prequel to the Magician's Trilogy, so I actually have not read the Magician's Trilogy, so I think I'm going to read this and then decide if I want to pick up the Magician's Trilogy itself. The Scourge by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is the same author that wrote the Descendants trilogy, and I really love that trilogy. I need to read the last book though, but I loved the second book, gave it 5 stars. Loved the first book, gave it 4.5 stars or 4 stars. So I'm pretty dang stoked to see what she's gonna do with a different story. I picked up Last Descendants by Matthew J. Kirby. This is a book about Assassin's Creed, and I love Assassin's Creed. I played every game. I haven't beat the most recent one because I haven't really played it, and I don't actually think I beat the one before that because I have not really been into playing video games for the past year or so, so I will definitely be getting back into video games and everything. But if you guys don't know what Assassin's Creed is, it's about descendants of previous assassins. Like, it's like genetic memories and stuff like that. So the descendants will go into these machines called the Animus, and then they can relive their ancestors' lives and figure out what things their ancestors did in the past that affected the future and how that all unfolded. And I really love the video games, so I think I'm gonna really like the book, and this one comes out in August. I picked up Gemena. If you don't know what Gemena is about, I don't know who you are. And it is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This one comes out in October, and it's a science fiction book told in epistolary format, and it's just told in case files and stuff like that. So yep, gonna read this one. I got the Crooked Kingdom sampler, although I haven't read Six of Crows yet, but they were like, Lee Bardugo, you have to. So it says to Connor, and then her signature, and then it was supposed to come with tattoos, but this didn't actually have any tattoos in it, so I don't know why they gave me that. I don't know why I brought it to my house, but I will maybe read this after I read Six of Crows. I got The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. This is about a day every year so that no one remembers what happens, and so you can basically do whatever you want, and it made me think of The Purge, where you're allowed to do whatever you want, but in this case no one actually remembers, except for I think the main character is able to remember what happens on the day, and so it's kind of her journal, I think, of that whole experience, or that day a year. Yep, got that one. This one comes out in September as well. There's a lot of books that are coming out in September, just realized that. I got Falling Over Sideways by Jordan Sonablick. This is a very humorous book, but I think something dark ends up happening. I think her father ends up having a medical emergency, and so it goes from her life being a joke to having something serious happen, and then having to find their way back to being able to live life and be happy and make jokes again. And Falling Over Sideways is having to do with the dad falling over. So yeah, got that one. This one comes out in September, yay. I got The Call, which I think is pretty scary. So I guess The Call is where you're called into a different world, and then there's these beautiful beings that are going to attack you and kill you, and the main character is going to try to survive. This one comes out in August. Oh my gosh! I picked up Blood for Blood by Ryan Crawdon, but I haven't read Wolf by Wolf, so I don't know if I'm going to end up reading this one anytime soon, but this one comes out in November, so I've got enough time to pick up the first book and read it. I think this one has to do with an alternate World War II, something like that, but I haven't read the first one, so I will be reading this one at some point. I'm getting stressed. I picked up Project 1065, which is about a boy who ends up joining the Nazi forces as a spy, and as you guys know, I'm getting more into historical fiction, and so I think I will really like this one. This one comes out in October. I got The Secret Keepers by Trenton Lee Stewart. This is another middle grade series that has magic and adventure, and probably someone that's from 12 to 13, and something bad happens in their life and they have to go and fix it. And this one is also illustrated, and it's enormous. This one also comes out in September. Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I didn't really think I was going to pick this one up because I read the Anti-Goddess first two books. It was Anti-Goddess and Mortal Gods, and I honestly wasn't impressed, but this idea sounds pretty cool, where it's three sisters, they all have magical abilities, or maybe only one of them has magical abilities, I'm not exactly sure, but to become queen, one of the sisters has to kill the other two, or, you know, the last one standing ends up being queen, and I will probably read it anyway because it comes out in September. Maybe I won't. There's too many books coming out in September. I don't know. If I hear good things, then I'll obviously pick it up. Sounds pretty cool. I like people with powers, so I hopefully will be reading it before it comes out, but if not, I will be reading it after and doing a review. I hope to do reviews on all these books. That's the plan. But that's a lot of reviews, so I'm not exactly sure. I got more books at BEA than I've done individual reviews on my channel, so that's probably going to be an issue. We're down to the last few. This one is going to be A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. I ended up reading An Ember in the Ashes in December, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars or 4 stars or something like that, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, so I will be reading this one before it comes out in August because I just need to know what happens. It's got a lot of ancient Rome and Greek elements in it, and I think that a lot of people think that it's just ancient Rome, but I saw more Greek elements in there than Roman elements. So, Arabella of Mars by David D. Levine, and this is a Nebula Award nominee, but I do believe that it won the award. I think he said Space Pirates, and I think that's what made me want to pick this one up. This one comes out in July. It says to Connor, and he signed it. This author, was seeing him and interacting with him made me want to read his book so badly because he was so sweet. He was so excited that people were in line to pick up his book. I just was so happy to make him happy. Like, everyone that I was with was just looking at him and was like, oh, he's so sweet. So we're gonna read his book. So I want to read this one sooner rather than later. I think this is gonna be one of the first ones that I pick up out of all of the books that I'm showing. Prince Warriors by Priscilla Shire and Gina Detwiller. This one follows 4 kids and they are dragged through a portal into a new world and they have to be prince warriors and save the kingdom. Pretty standard middle grade, but and the writing is quite large as well. And I was just walking around with Jackie from J Book Lover, and so I was like, middle grade, and I was like, me! So I grabbed the book from the person, and yeah, I'm going to be reading that one soon. I think this is a finished copy as well. And the last book that I picked up is going to be Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This was a very popular book that everyone wanted, and this one's compared to The Night Circus a lot. It's signed as well, and so I have not read The Night Circus, so I think this will be something that's very different than anything I've read before, and is about this carnival, or Caraval is an event that happens every year or something like that, and the main character has never participated, and now she's getting married and moving away, so she really wants to participate this year, and then I think she gets picked. So it's just her going through this Caraval situation. But yeah, this one comes out in January of next year, so I will not be reading this one anytime soon. So those are all the books that I got at BEA. I know it's a lot. I know I might have bit off more than I could chew, but I'm going to do my best to get all the books read before they come out. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below which books you think are the most exciting, which ones I should start off with first, or which ones I should prioritize if I can't end up getting to all of them, which ones are must-reads, and which ones do you want to see reviews of first. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.